Welcome back, everybody. In today's Pushin' Daisies episode, we're going to be taking a look at Daisy's Powerline Series Model 35 multi-pump action rifle. And if you've been on the fence about passing it up in the box store, you keep reaching out for it, keep scratching your head, well, this might be the episode to help you decide a future purchase later on down the road. We're going to do a thorough walkthrough of this. I've got some specs written down, and there's some real key details that you need to know that just aren't on the box. So without further ado, let's just dive on in. So to start off with, y'all, it's got plastic rear stock and fore stock in a camo pattern. It's got really nice checkering embedded into it. It's got a real solid grip on it. The end of the gun stock has the ripples, and they're quite aggressive. The overall length of this is 34.5 inches long. From the trigger to the rear of the gun stock, the pull, that's going to come in at 12 3/4 inches. The internal shot tube measures in at 18 inches in length, and it's surrounded by a steel and painted barrel shroud. It runs into the plastic receiver. It's got a rear sight that's almost identical to the Daisy Red Ryder in 1999 series, except for the windage adjustment. And I really do wish that Daisy would incorporate this into the 1999 series. Moving on up to the front, it has a 2 1/4 inch long sight blade. It's just under a 1/2 inch in height. When you come around to the back of it, it's got a nice centered white dot to help get you on target. Coming back down to the windage block, you can see that each side of it has 3 lines, and that's going to help you get, sighted in on your windage. It makes it real easy to slide back and forth and follow your notches. The elevator ramp on it almost seems identical to the Red Ryder. I'm not sure if there's any difference in this. The metal barrel shroud itself comes in at 16 3/4 inch in length. Coming back to the gun stocks, the front measures in at 10 inches even, while the back comes in at just around 12 inches long. It has a well-placed dovetail rail on top, and Daisy claims it has a 50 shot load capacity, and it's awful close to that. I'm not going to count each individual one. It's a dual ammo rifle, so it also can shoot the steel shot BBs, or you can go with the .177 pellets, which I have yet to do with this rifle. When we come down into the load gate area, what we'll do is we'll pull the bolt back, and just like that, that BB will pounce right in there on that magnet to be loaded again. Let's zoom in on that pocket there for the load port. It's just so nice and open. Every time you draw that bolt back, it's almost guaranteed that it's going. Another thing that I like about this load port is whenever you break it and you pull it back, it has an easy to service O-ring tucked right down in there. Easy to get to with your lube. I really like the trigger feel on this trigger here. It's a steel trigger, and I have one pump in it with a BB loaded, and I'll let you all observe the range on it. right there. Now, with this being actually the little brother to the Daisy Powerline series of the Model 880, this is not a rifle barrel. This is actually a nice smooth bore inside, just like your Red Ryder, your 1999s, all your other classic spring air-powered action levered Daisies. Aside from that, I'm sorry I don't have a trigger weight pull on it. All I could really tell you about the trigger is it's very smooth, very nice, very crisp whenever that sear engages on it. Daisy claims a 690 feet per second average on top end with 10 pumps with this, and the weight comes in at just at 3 pounds. On the box it says 3.1. It is what it is. Moving right along with things, we'll come back up here to the front end. There's another crucial takeaway from this. If you look down your barrel, you'll notice that it's a tapered barrel, which is quite nice for the reality effect of it. It's narrow in the front and wide in the back. And upon opening it up for your first pump, you'll find that the stock mold is really embedded really well and meshes up with the metal pump lever. Moving on down into the main power plant, you'll find that it's actually an aluminum cylinder sleeve wall, and that's pretty different. It ought to hold up. Aside from your Daisy stampings, we'll go down here. You have your oil here stamp, and then moving on up along the side of the barrel, you got your lot number going on right there. If we come back down to the crossbolt safety, you'll see the little steel shot BB down in there. It's a little bit smaller than a steel BB if you ever wound up taking it apart and losing it. It's nice and crisp whenever you engage it and disengage it. Okay, so if this is going to be your first multi-pump action air rifle purchase, let's talk about what the user can expect to achieve out of this. On 1 to 3 pumps, that's going to be for your closer cam plinking targets, whether it's indoor or outdoor. The 4 to 6 pump range, for hitting a target at long distance, 4 to 6 pumps is right where this rifle likes it. Hitting a 200-foot target about the size of a 5-gallon bucket is totally achievable with this over and over again. I don't know how accurate it is with a scope on it, but I mean, if you could hit a 5-gallon bucket at 200 feet, that's pretty good in my opinion, open-sided. For going beyond that, if you're going 7 to 10 pumps, if you take a 7 to 10 pump shot and you're trying to hit a target farther out, you are going to find that the smooth bore with the BB, it's the farther it goes out, the more erratic it's going to get. So if you're, like I said, if you're just going to do target plinking at long distance, 4 to 6 pumps, that's where she likes it. Now if you're out walking around the pond and you absolutely have to decimate your target at a close range, that means 20 to 30 feet or less, yeah, go ahead and give it the 10 pumps, do your dirty deed, and move on. Now with this out of the way, let's just go ahead and get our numbers. We'll run some numbers with each pump stroke on this, and we'll find out where the real numbers lie with this. Daisy claims 690 feet per second. We're going to put it up against the Caldwell Ballistics precision chronograph and see where it's at on each stroke. Sitting back About 25-foot target with a sight ramp at its lowest setting. Now here's that 5-gallon bucket I was talking about. It's placed about 200 foot out across the road. I got 4 to 6 pumps. I got 6 pumps in it with the sight ramp set at 5. And here we are zoomed out, just across the road, second to the end bay over there, about roughly 200 foot out. Guys, I am tickled and thrilled to death with this smoothbore action rifle. I think Daisy really knocked it out of the park with this run. I really hope they continue to offer it to their customers for many years to come. I can't really see much of an improvement on anything done with this for the price range that it's in. I'm just absolutely enthralled to have this added to the wall. So tell me how you guys feel. Do you guys have a 35 hanging up, sitting in the corner? You might want to knock the dust off of it and feel young again. Until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in. And I'll catch you on the next round.